Hello, everyone. There are days when the weight of the world feels heavy and the road before us appears too steep to climb. In those moments, we may find ourselves questioning, what is the secret to finding joy, to truly embracing happiness in a world full of chaos? The answer, my friends, is not a distant dream or a faraway destination. It is within you, always has been, and always will be. The secret to being happy is not found in the fleeting things that we chase, wealth, status, approval, or perfection. No, happiness is found in the grace of being. It is the quiet courage of accepting who we are, the audacity to love ourselves in our imperfection, and the willingness to stand tall even when life tries to knock us down. Too often we measure our worth by external standards, how much we have, how much we achieve, or how others see us. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more, to chase after the next goal, the next achievement, the next milestone. We're taught to believe that our value lies in what we do, how we perform, or what we accumulate along the way. But the truth is far simpler and far more profound. You are enough, just as you are. Embracing your worth means understanding that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to chase validation or wait for approval or hold yourself to impossible standards. You are worthy not because of what you have done or how others perceive you, but simply because you exist. The power of this realization is transformative. It frees you from the weight of comparison, from the constant pressure to be something more than you are right now. When you begin to truly embrace your worth, you start to see yourself in a new light. You recognize your unique qualities, the things that make you who you are, and you understand that these qualities are enough. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness, peace, or fulfillment can only come once we have achieved something great, but in reality, these things start when we learn to accept ourselves fully as we are in this very moment. Imagine for a moment a world where we didn't measure ourselves by how much we had or how much we did. Imagine a world where we simply loved ourselves for who we are, flaws, imperfections, and all. What would it feel like to let go of the pressure to be perfect, to stop judging ourselves so harshly, and to instead embrace the beauty of our own humanity? The truth is, when we learn to accept ourselves, to be kind to ourselves, and to acknowledge our inherent worth, we create space for joy and peace to enter our lives. But embracing your worth is not always easy. Society, family, and even our own inner voices can make it hard to feel that we are enough. The voices of doubt, of fear, and of insecurity can be loud and persistent. They tell us that we need to be more, do more, have more. But deep within you, there is a voice that knows better, a voice that speaks from a place of truth, reminding you that you are deserving of love, of respect, and of kindness, no matter what. To embrace your worth is to let go of the lies and the myths that tell you that you need to be different, that you need to change who you are in order to be loved or accepted. It is to quiet the inner critic and replace it with affirmations of your own value. It's a practice, a commitment to show up for yourself every day with compassion, patience, and understanding. This acceptance doesn't mean complacency or settling for less than what you deserve. It means recognizing that you are already worthy of the very best this life has to offer. It means allowing yourself the freedom to dream big and to go after those dreams, but doing so from a place of self-respect and self-love. When you acknowledge your own worth, you begin to set boundaries that honor who you are. You stop tolerating things that diminish you, and you stop seeking external approval because you already know that you are enough. When you understand that your worth is inherent, untouchable by outside circumstances, you begin to approach life with a quiet confidence. You no longer need to seek validation from others because you have already validated yourself. And when you do this, the world begins to respond differently to you. You become magnetic, drawing people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect the love and respect you've begun to give yourself. The journey of embracing your worth is not a destination. It's a continual practice of remembering who you are at your core. It's a commitment to show up for yourself in the way you show up for those you love. It's about recognizing that you are deserving of the same kindness, compassion, and grace that you so freely give to others. And as you embrace your worth, you'll begin to see the beauty in every moment, the goodness in every experience, and the love that has always been there waiting for you to claim it. You'll understand that happiness doesn't come from having more, doing more, or being more. It comes from fully accepting yourself as you are and recognizing that in this moment, you are enough. You are more than enough. And the world is lucky to have you exactly as you are. Life is not always kind. It can be harsh, unforgiving, and at times it can feel as though the weight of the world is pressing down on us, leaving us breathless and uncertain. But in those moments of struggle, in the face of adversity, we find out who we truly are. Our strength is not measured by how smoothly we sail through life, but by how we rise when the storm hits. Resilience is the quiet power within us that refuses to break even when everything else seems to be falling apart. It is the ability to face life's challenges with grace, to stand tall even when the ground beneath us feels unstable, and to keep moving forward no matter how difficult the journey may seem. We all face setbacks. We all experience moments of doubt and fear, moments when it feels like the odds are stacked against us. But these moments do not define us. What defines us is our ability to rise from them, to keep going, to learn and grow from the pain. Every setback is not a signal of defeat, but an invitation to grow stronger, to build our resilience. It is in our moments of struggle that we develop the muscles of persistence, courage, and strength. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending that the challenges we face don't affect us. It's not about denying our emotions or pushing our feelings aside. True resilience is about feeling the pain, acknowledging it, and then choosing to move forward regardless. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I will not let it define me. I will not allow this moment to control the rest of my life. It's the choice to keep going even when we don't know how we will make it through. When we rise with resilience, we begin to understand the power of perseverance. The road ahead may not be easy, and there may be days when we feel exhausted, when every step feels like a struggle. But it's in those very moments that we discover our true strength. The resilience to keep going even when we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel is what sets us apart. It is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. We all have this ability within us. It's not something reserved for the few, the lucky, or the strong. It's a choice that anyone can make, regardless of the circumstances they face. As we build resilience, we begin to understand that life's challenges are not obstacles to be avoided, but opportunities to be embraced. Each challenge carries within it the seeds of transformation. Each hardship is a lesson, each failure a step forward in the journey of becoming who we are meant to be. It's through facing and overcoming adversity that we develop the courage to pursue our dreams, the wisdom to make better decisions, and the strength to become the best version of ourselves. Resilience does not come overnight. It's a process, a practice that we must commit to each day. It's about choosing to believe in ourselves, even when it feels like no one else does. It's about finding the strength to pick ourselves up time and time again after each fall. And most importantly, it's about knowing that every time we rise, we grow. We may not always win, but we will always learn, and we will always grow stronger. When you embrace resilience, you begin to see life not as a series of obstacles, but as a series of opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to stretch, and to grow. You stop seeing failure as something to fear, but as something to learn from, because with each failure comes the wisdom and experience that moves us closer to our goals. Resilience is not just about surviving the storm. It's about dancing in the rain. It's about finding beauty in the struggle, peace in the chaos, and strength in the midst of hardship. It's about refusing to be a victim of circumstance and instead choosing to be the architect of your own future. Resilience is the light that shines brightest when the world feels darkest. It's the unwavering belief that no matter how hard life may get, you will not be defeated. So, when life challenges you, when it feels like everything is crumbling around you, remember that you are capable of more than you think. You have the power to rise, to rebuild, and to move forward. Resilience is the gift we give ourselves in the face of adversity. It is the assurance that no matter what happens, we will never be broken, because we have the strength to rise again and again, no matter the circumstances. We often spend so much of our lives chasing after the next big thing, the next achievement, the next goal, the next level of success, that we forget to pause and appreciate where we are right now. We get caught up in the idea that happiness is something that will arrive once we've reached a particular destination, accomplished a certain feat, or acquired a certain thing. But the truth is, happiness isn't a distant dream or a far-off goal. It is woven into the very fabric of our journey. It's the moments we overlook, the small victories, and the quiet joys that often hold the key to our peace and contentment. The journey itself, with all its ups and downs, is where happiness resides. It's in the early morning light filtering through your window, the laughter shared with friends, the feeling of satisfaction after a hard day's work, or even the simple pleasure of a warm cup of coffee. These small moments are the building blocks of a fulfilling life, and they are often where true happiness can be found. When we stop rushing toward the future and learn to embrace the present, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace and gratitude. Finding joy in the journey is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. It's about learning to see the beauty in what is right in front of us, even if it doesn't fit the picture we had in mind. Life is full of imperfections, and that's exactly what makes it beautiful. Every day brings new experiences, new lessons, and new opportunities to appreciate the little things. Happiness doesn't come when everything is perfectly aligned. It comes when we choose to find joy in the ordinary, the messy, and the imperfect. It's easy to get distracted by the idea of an end goal. We think that we'll be happy when we get that promotion, when we buy that house, when we finally achieve the weight loss goal, or when we reach the top of the career ladder. But what happens when we get there? What happens when we accomplish those things? If we don't learn to enjoy the journey, we might find that the destination doesn't bring us the happiness we thought it would. We might discover that the thing we were chasing all along wasn't the real source of joy. True happiness comes when we let go of the need to always be moving towards something else and allow ourselves to simply exist in the moment. It's the freedom that comes with knowing that we don't have to constantly strive for more, that we can find contentment right here, right now. The journey teaches us that we don't need to have everything figured out in order to experience happiness. We don't need to have all the answers or all the pieces of the puzzle in place. What we need is to be present, to find meaning in what's happening right now, and to recognize the small moments that make life worth living. When we stop seeing happiness as a future event and start experiencing it in the present, we start to feel more connected to ourselves and to the world around us. We begin to appreciate the people in our lives, the opportunities we've been given, and the growth we've experienced along the way. Happiness becomes less about achieving and more about being grateful, being mindful, being aware of the beauty that surrounds us every day. This shift in perspective requires a change in mindset. It means moving away from the idea that happiness is something we have to chase, and instead realizing that it's something we can cultivate right where we are. It's a choice we make every day to find joy in the journey, no matter where we are or what we're going through. It's choosing to focus on the positives, to notice the blessings, and to be present with the people and experiences that matter most. Life's journey may not always be smooth, and there will be times when we face challenges that feel overwhelming. But even in those moments, happiness can still be found. It might come in the form of a quiet moment of reflection, a lesson learned, or the strength we discover within ourselves as we move through difficult times. It's in the way we rise after a fall, in the way we find light in the darkness, and in the way we keep going even when the road seems long. So, as you walk your path, remember that happiness is not a distant dream or a future goal. It's here, right now in the journey itself. Take time to notice the small things, to savor the present, and to appreciate how far you've come. The journey is the reward, and when you learn to find joy in the process, you'll realize that you've been happy all along. The true beauty of life lies in the moments you experience as you walk the road, not in the places you think you need to reach. Happiness is found in the journey, and that journey is yours to cherish. There is a voice within each of us, quiet yet powerful, that speaks the truth of who we are. It's the voice that knows our worth, that understands our potential, and that calls us to stand firm in our beliefs, even when the world around us may try to sway us. Yet, all too often, we ignore this inner voice, letting the noise of the world drown it out. We allow the opinions, expectations, and judgments of others to dictate our actions, and in doing so, we lose touch with the very essence of who we are. But when we learn to trust our own voice, We begin to reclaim our power, our confidence, and our path in life. Trusting your own voice means learning to listen to that inner guidance, that intuitive knowing that comes from within. It is the part of you that knows what's right for you, that recognizes what aligns with your values and your truth. It is the voice that whispers, "You are enough," when others try to tell you otherwise. It is the strength that comes from within, reminding you that you don't need to look outside yourself for validation or approval. Your truth is your own, and it's not something anyone else can define for you. We often fall into the trap of seeking approval from others, of shaping our actions and decisions based on what others think we should do. We let the opinions of family, friends, co-workers, and society at large influence the way we see ourselves and the choices we make. We're told to fit into molds, to conform to expectations, and to chase after things that might not even matter to us. But when we trust our own voice, we break free from these limits. We stop seeking external validation and start creating our own path. Trusting your voice is not about disregarding others or rejecting their input. It's about knowing when to listen to outside opinions and when to trust your own judgment. It's about having the courage to follow your instincts even when they lead you down a path that might not be understood or accepted by others. Trusting your voice is about knowing that your truth is valid no matter how different it may seem from them. This journey of self-trust is not always easy. It requires us to be vulnerable, to face our fears, and to make decisions that might not always be popular. It means being willing to stand alone, to face uncertainty, and to walk away from things or people that don't honor who we are. It requires the courage to say, "This is who I am, and I will not apologize for it." And in that act of standing firm in our truth, we find a sense of peace that comes from knowing we are living authentically. Trusting your voice also means embracing your imperfections. We live in a world that tells us we must be flawless, that we must have it all together, that we must meet certain standards of success and beauty. But the truth is that our imperfections are what make us human. They are what make us relatable, compassionate, and real. When we trust our own voice, we stop striving for perfection and start embracing our authenticity. We allow ourselves the freedom to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. We understand that our worth does not come from being perfect, but from being true to ourselves, even when we stumble along the way. When we trust our own voice, we also recognize the power of our intuition. It is a quiet, subtle force that guides us, helping us make decisions that are aligned with our deepest desires and values. This intuition often knows the way long before our minds do. It's the feeling that tells us when something is right, when we're on the right path, or when it's time to change direction. Learning to trust this inner wisdom is one of the most empowering things we can do. It helps us navigate life with greater clarity and confidence, knowing that we are always guided by a force greater than ourselves. The more we trust our own voice, the more we start to believe in ourselves. We begin to realize that we don't need to rely on others for validation because we already have everything we need within us. This belief in ourselves is not about arrogance or pride. It's about confidence in our ability to navigate life with authenticity and purpose. It's about trusting that we have the strength, resilience, and wisdom to make decisions that are in alignment with who we truly are. And as we trust our voice, we begin to inspire others to do the same. When we stand in our truth, we give others permission to do the same. Our authenticity becomes a beacon for those around us, encouraging them to listen to their own inner guidance and trust their own paths. The more we honor our own truth, the more we create a world where everyone feels empowered to do the same. So, trust your voice. Trust the quiet whispers of your heart, the gentle pull of your intuition, and the strength that comes from living authentically. Your voice is powerful, it is worthy, and it is enough. When you learn to trust it, you unlock the door to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and true happiness. Every moment in life carries a lesson, whether we are aware of it or not. Yet, it is easy to view challenges and failures as roadblocks that stand in the way of our dreams, when in reality, they are the very stepping stones that lead us toward our true potential. Success and failure are not opposing forces. They are two sides of the same coin, both integral parts of the journey toward becoming who we are meant to be. Each experience, whether triumphant or disappointing, teaches us something invaluable about ourselves and the world around us. We often view failure as something to avoid, something to be ashamed of or discouraged by. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we saw failure not as a defeat, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve? Every time we fail, we gain new insights, new skills, and a deeper understanding of our own resilience. Failure is not the end of the road, but merely a detour. A chance to adjust our course, refine our approach, and try again with more wisdom than before. It is through failure that we develop the perseverance and strength necessary to achieve lasting success. Without failure, there would be no growth. Without mistakes, we would never truly understand how to succeed. Success, on the other hand, is not just the outcome of our efforts, but the lessons we learn along the way. It is easy to measure success by the tangible results we achieve, the promotion, the awards, the recognition, but true success is more than just external validation. Success is found in the way we navigate the ups and downs of life, in the way we persist through adversity, and in the way we evolve and adapt to life's challenges. It is found in the small victories, the quiet moments of progress, and the growth that occurs beneath the surface. Real success is not about getting everything right all the time. It is about the courage to keep going, even when things don't turn out as planned. When we approach life with this mindset, we begin to see that both success and failure are essential to our journey. They are not isolated events, but part of a continuous process of learning and evolving. Each success, no matter how big or small, is built on the foundation of the lessons we've learned from our failures. Similarly, each failure teaches us something valuable that ultimately paves the way for future success. One does not exist without the other, and each is just as important as the other in shaping the person we are becoming. It's important to remember that success is not a linear path. We are taught from a young age that there is a certain formula for achieving success. Study hard, work hard, and follow the steps laid out by society. But the truth is that success is often messy and unpredictable. It does not always follow a straight line, and the road to achievement is rarely without detours and roadblocks. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, when the results fall short of expectations, or when we are faced with setbacks that seem impossible to overcome. But in those moments, we have the choice to either give up or keep going, the choice to continue moving forward, to adapt, and to find new ways to pursue our goals is what makes all the difference. When we begin to see success and failure as interconnected, we stop fearing the latter. We stop seeing failure as something to avoid at all costs, and instead we begin to see it as an inevitable and necessary part of the process. We understand that failure does not diminish our worth, it enhances our growth, it provides us with the tools, the insights, and the experiences that we need to eventually succeed. Each time we fail, we become better equipped to handle the next challenge, more resourceful in finding solutions, and more capable of achieving the success we desire. Success and failure are not about being perfect, nor are they about comparing ourselves to others. Everyone's journey is unique, and each person's path to success looks different. The key is to focus on your own growth, to measure your success not by external benchmarks, but by the progress you make along the way. Celebrate the small victories, the lessons learned, and the courage it takes to keep moving forward despite the challenges. It is through this mindset that we find true fulfillment, not in the achievement of a singular goal, but in the continuous process of becoming the person we are meant to be. So, when you face setbacks, remember that they are not the end. They are part of the story, part of the process that will ultimately lead you to where you are meant to go. When you experience success, take a moment to reflect on the lessons you've learned and the resilience you've built. And through it all, remember that both success and failure are necessary ingredients for a life well lived. Together, they shape us into the people we are meant to become, and they offer the wisdom and strength we need to continue moving forward on our journey. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges our way, sometimes all at once. It can feel as though we are constantly navigating a series of obstacles, each one harder than the last, and the weight of it all can feel overwhelming. Yet, it is during these times when things seem the toughest that we are presented with an opportunity, the chance to show up for ourselves and others in ways we never thought possible. Strength doesn't come from avoiding hardships. It comes from how we rise in the face of adversity. It comes from our willingness to face what feels impossible and find the courage to move through it. We often underestimate our own resilience. We look at challenges and assume they will break us, but the truth is, we are much stronger than we realize. Every difficult moment we face is an opportunity to discover new depths of strength within us. When we push through our fears and doubts, when we refuse to back down in the face of hardship, we reveal the untapped power that lies within. And in that moment, we become more than we were before. Strength is not about being immune to difficulty. It is about how we rise to meet it. This strength often emerges not in grand gestures, but in small, consistent actions. It's in the decision to keep going when it feels like all is lost. It's in choosing to stand tall when you feel like you can't stand at all. It's in the quiet moments of perseverance when no one is watching, when the world doesn't acknowledge your struggle, but you continue moving forward anyway. It's in the courage to take that next step, even when you can't see the way ahead. These moments, though they may seem insignificant at the time, are what define us. They are the foundation of our inner strength, and each one builds upon the last, creating a well of resilience that we can tap into when we need it most. We also find strength in our vulnerability. Society often teaches us that strength is synonymous with being tough, stoic, and invulnerable. We're told to keep our emotions in check, to avoid showing weakness, and to push through challenges without letting them get to us. But true strength is not about suppressing our feelings or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. True strength lies in our ability to be vulnerable, to acknowledge our struggles, and to ask for help when we need it. It is in allowing ourselves to feel the pain, the fear, and the uncertainty, and yet still choosing to move forward despite those feelings. Vulnerability does not make us weak, it makes us human. It allows us to connect with others, to share our experiences, and to find support in times of need. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open the door to healing and growth. It's in being honest with ourselves and others about our challenges that we begin to understand that we are not alone in our struggles. We all face hardships. And when we show our true selves, we create space for others to do the same. In this shared vulnerability, we find strength, not only in ourselves, but in each other. Another important aspect of strength is the ability to adapt. Life is full of change, and the unexpected often becomes the norm. Things don't always go as planned, and the path we thought we were walking may suddenly take a different direction. But strength lies not in resisting change, but in embracing it. It's in our ability to adapt, to pivot, and to find new ways to move forward when the old ways no longer serve us. Adaptability is not about giving up or resigning ourselves to defeat. It's about being flexible, about learning to flow with life's natural rhythms rather than fighting against them. The ability to embrace change is one of the greatest strengths we can develop because it allows us to thrive in uncertainty, to find new opportunities even in the face of adversity. True strength also requires patience. We live in a world that often values instant results, quick fixes, and immediate gratification. But real strength is built over time. It is the product of consistent effort, perseverance, and a willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow. Strength is not about rushing to the finish line. It is about trusting the process and believing that each small step is leading you to something greater. It's the patience to know that healing, growth, and success all take time. The more we embrace this patience, the more resilient we become, understanding that even in the toughest moments, we are making progress. And of course, strength is also found in self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we face challenges, to feel as though we're not strong enough or capable enough to handle what life has thrown our way. But being kind to ourselves in times of difficulty is just as important as being strong. It's in giving ourselves permission to rest, to take breaks, and to acknowledge that we don't always have to be at our best. Strength is not about pushing ourselves to the brink of exhaustion. It is about knowing when to give ourselves grace, to recharge, and to come back stronger. In the end, strength is not a singular trait that we either have or don't have. It is something that we build over time. It is developed through the choices we make, the way we respond to life's challenges, and the way we show up for ourselves and others. It's about being persistent, adaptable, vulnerable, patient, and compassionate. The more we cultivate these qualities, the stronger we become. Life will continue to test us, but each challenge is an opportunity to grow in strength, to deepen our resilience, and to become the person we are meant to be. Strength, in its truest form, is not just about surviving, it's about thriving through life's trials with grace and courage. There is an undeniable power in the present moment. Too often, we find ourselves dwelling on the past, replaying old mistakes, or worrying about the future, imagining all the things that could go wrong. This constant cycle of regret and fear robs us of the beauty and peace that the present offers. Yet the present moment is all we truly have. It is in this very moment that we are alive, that we have the opportunity to make choices, to experience joy, and to create the life we desire. Learning to live fully in the present requires us to break free from the grip of past regrets and future anxieties. It means shifting our focus from what was and what might be to what is. When we allow ourselves to be present, we open up to the richness of life that is constantly unfolding around us. We begin to see the beauty in the small things, a sunrise, a shared laugh, the warmth of a hug. These are the moments that truly matter, and yet we often overlook them as we rush through our days, caught up in our thoughts about what has already happened or what is yet to come. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future. It doesn't mean disregarding our responsibilities or forgetting our goals. It means finding a balance, acknowledging the past, planning for the future, but not allowing either to dominate our experience of the present. The past is a part of us. It has shaped who we are, but it is not where we live anymore. Similarly, the future is a realm of possibility, but it has yet to arrive. The only moment we can truly influence is the one we are in right now. When we choose to focus on the present, we begin to notice how much more we have to be grateful for. Gratitude becomes a natural response when we are fully engaged with the moment. We realize that the present is a gift. Each breath, each step, each conversation is an opportunity to connect, to experience, and to appreciate the world around us. We don't need to wait for a special occasion or a perfect moment to be grateful. The beauty of life is in the details, in the ordinary, in the things we often take for granted. In our busy lives, it's easy to become distracted. We are constantly multitasking, juggling responsibilities, and trying to keep up with the demands of the world around us. But this constant state of doing pulls us away from simply being. We miss the moments that matter, the fleeting interactions, the subtle changes in our surroundings. When we are distracted, we are not truly living. We are just going through the motions. By embracing the present, we allow ourselves the space to be fully engaged with life as it happens. We open ourselves up to the richness of the experience, whether it's a simple moment of quiet reflection or an exciting new opportunity. Mindfulness is key to living in the present moment. It's the practice of paying attention to what is happening right now without judgment or distraction. When we practice mindfulness, we are not lost in thought, but aware of our surroundings, our emotions, and our physical sensations. We are tuned into the present experience, able to notice things we would otherwise miss. Mindfulness allows us to slow down, to savor the moment, and to truly appreciate what is happening in our lives. When we let go of our obsession with the past and the future, we also free ourselves from the weight of comparison. We stop measuring our worth against the achievements or failures of others. We stop believing that we are not enough because we haven't reached some external milestone or completed some arbitrary checklist. The present moment is where we can truly be ourselves without the pressure to conform to anyone's expectations. In the here and now, we are enough just as we are. There is no need to be anyone else, to do anything more, to have anything else. The present moment invites us to step into our own power, to recognize our own value, and to embrace who we are. Living in the present also helps us to reduce stress and anxiety. When we focus on the now, we are less likely to get caught up in worries about things we cannot control. We stop imagining worst-case scenarios and start dealing with what is right in front of us. Problems become less overwhelming when we take them one step at a time, when we approach each moment with clarity and presence. By giving our full attention to the present, we gain the perspective we need to handle challenges with calmness and confidence. At the heart of living in the present is the ability to let go. Letting go of the past means releasing the grip of old hurts, mistakes, and regrets that keep us trapped in a cycle of negative thinking. Letting go of the future means relinquishing the constant worry and fear about what may or may not happen. When we let go of these mental and emotional burdens, we make room for peace, for joy, and for the freedom to fully embrace the here and now. We stop carrying the weight of the past and the future on our shoulders, and instead we step into the lightness of being fully present. When we live in the present, we experience life in its fullness. We become more connected to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. The present moment is where life happens. It's where we can feel alive, truly alive. So, choose today to be present. Let go of what was, stop worrying about what might be, and simply experience this moment as it is. It is enough, and it is everything. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to remind you that the path to happiness, fulfillment, and success is not a destination, but a continuous journey. A journey that requires courage, resilience, and the willingness to embrace both the challenges and the victories along the way. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and your potential is limitless. Trust yourself, trust your voice, and remember that every step, every setback, and every victory shapes you into the person you are meant to become. Live fully in the present, embrace your unique path, and know that every moment is an opportunity to grow and evolve. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to reflect, and to connect with these words. May they inspire you to live your life with purpose, grace, and strength. I wish you all the best on your journey ahead. May you always find the courage to be true to yourself, the resilience to rise after every fall, and the wisdom to appreciate the beauty in every moment. Good luck and thank you.